Good evening all and welcome back to the channel. My name is Bowden. This is Falls Creek Flips. I am a part-time reseller and this is our What Sold Sunday, where I go over what I've sold over probably the last 3 days. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you don't know me, I'm a father of 2 boys. I did have a full-time job. This week is the first week I probably start only 3 days a week at my job and 2 days a week. Essentially, one of those will be with my boys. So every Friday I'm going to have with them, and then every Monday I'm going to have focusing on the business. Essentially, I still do business stuff every single day, and we'll do like Fridays, etc., Friday nights, but like during the day we'll be with the boys. So I'm super excited to be taking this step this week. It's pretty nerve-wracking because I've been really enjoying spending the money I've been making on hobbies and whatnot, and, you know, cards and bits and pieces and collectives and all that sort of stuff. So it's a bit nerve-wracking to be transferring away from that to having to be putting the money towards the mortgage and bills and all that sort of stuff. But that's the whole reason why I'm doing this, is to transition to doing this full-time. And this is the first little step. The good thing is that if, you know, it doesn't pan out, it doesn't work, I can always go and find some other work on a Monday, or talk to my boss about picking Mondays back up. So I'm not too stressed about that, which is lovely. But that all being said, it is time to go over what we've sold. So I'll run you through. The reason why I do this isn't a big note. It's to kind of show you guys what's moving. Maybe to teach you something in regards to what is selling and for what sort of prices. So if you do stay around to the end of the video, I will go over what we've sold here, the cost of all those, the value of it all, and then what sort of net profit I'm expecting to be able to bring in. That obviously then needs to be split into like tax and all that sort of stuff, but that's another thing. But essentially, taking out the cost of goods, taking out the fees and freight, I give you then a net profit amount. So if you stay till the end of the video, I'll take you through. But let's spin around and look at what we have sold. So a bit of a diverse week this week, which is lovely to see. You'll notice only one hat this week. Last week we had 2 pairs of shoes, some outerwear and stuff, and then some more media. So we'll go through. We sold, first of all, this Crooks and Castles LA hat. I got this from a little op shop that I'm waiting to reopen. It is all legit, and that is going over to the US. So, yeah, pretty happy to be moving that one over to the US. Our 2 pairs of shoes. So we have these Nike, I'm just trying to pull the tongue up there, Nike Pegasus 30s. They are in very, very good nick. You'll see the soles are fantastic. The heels, there's almost no wear on them. Yeah, so really happy they have sold. I've been a bit slow on shoes, so they're finding a new home, and we're glad that that has happened. Here we have the Nike Free TR6s. Again, sold, clean shoes, really good. These are a bit of a weird one. When I first tried to list these on eBay, for some reason it was saying that I couldn't list it with the label that I was, and I took everything out, and it was just saying that I was putting like a separate, like I was listing a Nike shoe but saying Reebok or something like that. I don't really understand it, but I waited a couple of weeks and then I relisted it. I tried again and it accepted the listing. So I don't really know whether there was just a glitch in the system or something, but these shoes are super clean and they have sold. We then have this here. So this is a Reebok Team Apparel Large on the tag, NBA Authentics Reebok tag. So that is a Toronto Raptors singlet, like training singlet. It is going to China, but I'm not sending it to China because Chinese air freight is on hold at the moment. This is actually going to a consolidation company in Sydney. So they are not paying any extra for the freight. They're just paying for it to get to Sydney, and then that will be looked after from there. Here is the only piece of Columbia wear that I have picked up. I'll put down below here how much I paid, etc. But yeah, it's a nice little jacket, really good, fully waterproof from what it says in here. You know, tissue impermeable, waterproof fabric, all that sort of stuff. So that's sold. Surprised that it didn't sell during winter, etc. But, you know, people like to buy up whenever they find stuff, and you never know when someone's destroyed their last jacket and they need something new. So that's all of that sold. Then I've been really trying hard to get all of my media listed. So you'll see here I've gone through and I've tested a whole bunch of my PSP games that I had sort of sitting there. I've got all of my DS games are now listed. I've got all of my Game Boy Advanced, and Game Boy DS single games there listed. I've got all my PS3 done, except for obviously the SingStar Rock Band and all that. I've got PS3 and PS4 stuff and a couple of wee things to go. And then that's pretty much all of my media done, and then I can get onto clothes and shoes, etc. But I'm just feeling that this year it's probably going to be big on media, specifically games, so I'm just trying to get them all listed. So I listed these guys 2 days ago, and they sold within 24 hours. Tetris DX for the Game Boy. Both of them sold for $27, essentially. So, yeah, super surprised that they went as quickly as they did. Next up, Ape Academy 2 for the PSP. That sold for $9. It was the only PSP game I had that didn't have the manual. All the rest essentially are with the manual, case, and tested working. So, yeah, I bought it in that condition, and it's going out in that condition and sold super quick. Bratz the movie. Bratz stuff sells well. Yeah, it's just crazy how well it sells. I've sold this before. It was a water damaged version of it, and it's still so quickly, essentially. So I don't understand why Bratz is such a collectible thing, but it moves. Cold Winter for the PS2. I do love the fact they have up the top here with net play, as if like that's a big selling point, but obviously back in the day it was. But that's a cool looking shooter, and it has sold. Who doesn't love a little bit of Grand Theft Auto? And Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has sold. It is complete in there. So do love I do always love the manuals that you get for Grand Theft Auto games. Like, it all looks like a book or something that you get on, you know, a local business advertiser's guide for San Andreas. So just really cool. Things like that I think really make a game, and they don't do a lot of that anymore with new games. A lot of them just don't come with manuals, or that's just basic. Here's one that I thought I was going to have to sell at next week's garage sale. So we are having a garage sale next week, street-wide. So all along my street, I live in a rural location, and so we are having a streetwide garage sale, and so all the houses are going to be, you know, putting stuff out the front, and I was expecting to be able to clear some of my stock that's been hanging around for a little while, and this was one of the ones I honestly thought I was going to have to sell, but yeah, it's sold today. So super happy that's going out the door and finding a new home. Midnight Club 3. There's just something about like these early 2000 racing games that they just are collectible, and they get good money, and they keep going out the door for me. So last week it was a Need for Speed Underground, and this week it is Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. So that whole like modding scene, it's that sort of era, it's all those sorts of cars, and they just seem to move. Mononoke. This is a Japanese anime in a very, very interesting style. Picked this up with a bunch of other anime. I saw it in the Vinnies in Nara one day and just went, I'm grabbing all those anime. Paid a little bit for it, but definitely knew that there was value in it. So that has sold. And last but not least is Need for Speed Most Wanted. Again, you know, those early 2000 games, they just keep selling. They are such good sellers. They're great to pick up. If you can get them from anywhere, you know, up to like $4, I always pick them up. They're so valuable, and I just love getting rid of them. So that is what we have sold this week, guys. Not a lot else to tell you today. Like I said, by the time you're watching this, we'll have had our garage sale, so I'm going to try and film some of that throughout the day where possible. I do only have one battery for this camera, so I'm not going to film a heap. I'll film a little bit of setting up. If I go around to some of the other places and do some shopping, as I like to call it, shopping. I'll film some of that for you guys to see. But ultimately, I'm trying to slow down purchasing. I probably won't have another, like, what I've bought video this week, just because I've gotten another consignment lot the other day. So this is another lot of consignment gear. I've got an old school Wingman Formula Logitech for the PC there. I've got a vintage soccer game that's complete. I've got a whole bunch of other stuff in there, including 70s basketball, 70s NRL cards. I've got some cameras in there. I've got a whole bunch of stuff in there that I've been given. So I've got to get all that going. I've still got over here as well. This is all the stuff I bought last week is still sitting here. So I've just got so much stock that I'm just needing to deal with. And that's where I'm trying to get those full days where I can get out here, I can photograph everything, I can get it uploaded, and we can get it moving prior to Christmas. I'm super excited. We're only a week away from getting back out to the ACT, which is very exciting. So pretty much when you're watching this, the next day, we should be able to be getting out to the ACT. So yeah, super happy about that. I've got some collections here that I'm taking out to a friend. So I'm just trying to get some stuff together. Bren, there's some gear coming your way. I mean, I brought it from Canberra and it's going to go back to you if you want to get rid of it or redonate it. But I've got some other good stuff that I'm going to be bringing your way as well, Bren. So don't stress about that, mate. It's not just the bad stuff. It's actually the bigger, bulkier stuff that, I can't deal with or just don't have the time to deal with. Like this little, kitty carrier. I know that Bren and Jen love these sort of things. So I'm going to take that and a bunch of other stuff out to them that, for me, it's just not my bread and butter. And they've been really generous and good to me. And so I'm paying that forward back to them or paying it back to them. But guys, that's our week. That's what we've done. It's been super busy. It's super exciting how much we're starting to pick things up. So I'm now averaging like a bit over that $1,000 a week in sales, which for me is super exciting. So yeah, just looking forward to what the next couple of weeks are going to bring as we get into Christmas. And look, I just hope you guys are traveling well. I hope everyone's enjoying getting out of their lockdowns, that you're taking the time to sort of catch up with friends and family, as well as chasing deals and chasing the opportunity to buy stuff. And, when it comes down to it, what we always say is just keep flipping, guys. Have a great week. Okay, guys, so just thought I'd vocalize some of these figures now, rather than just chucking them up on the screen with the music underneath. But here, this just goes over what we have, what I've just shown you. Essentially, in total, the sold value is $504.11. My purchase price on all these, because a couple of them do come from consignment lots, it's $57.42. And then my shipping fees and listing fees come to a total of $187.11. So ultimately, my net profit from that is $259.58. So yeah, it's a good outcome there. Obviously, that doesn't include, as I've said before, tax, and some of that does need to be paid out to some of the consignment lots. But ultimately, it's a really good result for 3 days, essentially. And so long as we can keep that going and growing, I can only be happy with how this opportunity is traveling. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week.